Now these cable services are nothing but the linkages and switched operations. So they are one-way type of communication. The electronic media is mainly responsible for this transformation. The main services which help business can be classified into postal and telecom. Now we know that the public warehouses, they are operated by the government for storage of goods of the traders, public, anybody can make use of this warehouse. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence. In this session 3 on the 4th chapter, we will be having a look at what is the meaning of communication services, transportation services and warehousing services. Now, we all know that business services are important for running the business. Now, let us have a look into what are the communication services. So, we all know that communication services are important for any business and business cannot function in isolation. Now, let us have a look at what is the meaning of communication services. So, business does not exist in isolation. It has to communicate with others for transmission of ideas and information. Communication services need to be very efficient, accurate and fast. The electronic media is mainly responsible for this transformation. The main services which help business can be classified into postal and telecom. So, we know that business cannot exist in isolation. It has to constantly keep in touch with its suppliers, customers, and all this. There are so many things which the business has to collect information from others, and it also has to give information to others. Now, let us have a look into what is the meaning here. So, communication services need to be very efficient, accurate and fast. So, communication means there should be a sender of the message and there should be receiver of the message. And here we see that the communication should be very, very efficient, accurate and fast. Why it should be efficient? Because whenever the time to communicate is very, very short. So, we have to, in a very short period, we have to communicate things very fastly and accurately, and the medium through which we communicate, so it should be clear. Otherwise, the receiver will not receive the message. So, we need to see that the communication services should be efficient, accurate and fast. The electronic media is mainly responsible for this transformation. So, for the communication services, we need the help of the electronic medium. Then, the main services which help business can be classified into postal and telecom. So, the postal department and the telecom department, they are helping the business industry to just communicate the information whatever they need. Now, let us have a look into what is the postal services. Now, we all have the postal department in India. It is a departmental undertaking formed by the government of India for providing postal services to the public. Now, before the advent of this technology, that is the internet, etc., postal services was very, very important. So, in order to keep in touch with our friends and relatives, we used to use this postal services. But nowadays, these postal services are fast losing their significance. However, these postal services have upgraded themselves in keeping in touch with the recent times. Now, let us have a look at what does the postal services have to say. Now, Indian Post and Telegraph Department provides various postal services across India. So, the Post and Telegraphs Department are providing postal services across India. Now, the two main kind of facilities provided by the Postal Department are financial facilities and mail facilities. Now, the Postal Department, it gives us broadly two kinds of facilities, that is the financial facility and the mail facility. Now, let us have a look into what are the financial facilities offered by the Postal Department. Now, the financial facilities offered by the Postal Department refers to, they will be providing services like the Public Provident Fund, what we call as the PPF, and also they give us the RD facility. They also have various other NSC, that is the National Savings Certificates. So all these certificates, they are given by the Postal Department. In addition to this, they are giving monthly income schemes, and they are also having various other government schemes which can be registered only through the Postal Department. So the Postal Department is slowly converting into providing banking facilities also to the people. Then in addition to that, it is also providing us mail facilities. Now let us have a look at what are the mail facilities offered here. Now here it is offering greeting post, a range of delightful greeting cards for every occasion. So the greeting post is given by the Postal Department. Then we have the media post. Now what is this media post? An innovative, effective vehicle for Indian corporates to advertise their brand through postcards, envelopes, aerograms, telegrams, and also through letter boxes. So they are offering this innovative and effective media for the Indian corporates. So whoever wants to advertise, they can advertise through these postcards, envelopes, and also aerograms, telegrams, and other through letter boxes. Now the third type of facility offered by the postal services is the direct post. Now in this direct post, it is for direct advertisement. So in this, it will be both addressed and unaddressed. Here the target customers will be there. So for them, the direct post will be offered. Then the next facility offered by the Postal Department is international money transfer. So the Postal Department, in collaboration with the Western Union Money Transfer, so it is enabling us to transfer money. So WUMT, that is Western Union Money Transfer. So we can receive money from abroad or also remit money abroad. So this facility is being provided by the Postal Department. Then the next kind of postal services is the passport facilities. So anybody who wants to get the passport done, they can get it done through this Postal Department. So a unique partnership with the Ministry of External Affairs for facilitating passport application. So whoever wants to go abroad, he has to go abroad with the passport itself. So to get the passport done, this postal services is helping the Ministry of External Affairs. Then we have the speed post facility. The speed post facility. So it has over 1,000 destinations in India and links with 97 major countries across the globe. So the speed post facilities, or the EMS, whatever we call. So this is very helpful in delivering the post in a very quick and fast manner. Then the seventh one is the e-bill post. Now what is this e-bill post? So through this, the Postal Department is able to collect bill payment across the counter for BSNL and Bharti Airtel. So this is one payment facility which is given by the postal services for the BSNL and Bharti Airtel. Then next, let us have a look into what are the telecom services. Now the telecom services refers to the world-class telecommunications infrastructure is the key to rapid economic and social development of the country. So these telecom services have helped for the rapid economic development of the nation. Now these telecom services, they are offering the various kinds of services. Now let us have a look into the various kinds of services offered by the telecom department. Now the first kind of service offered by the telecom department is the cellular mobile services. Now these cellular mobile services, they are providing us various types of services including voice-based, non-voice-based, data operation, and all other allied services. So whoever uses a mobile, he will be having the internet, and through this internet facility and the mobile facility, nowadays we are able to make lot of things. So within our fingertips only, we can make lot of payments, we can message to anybody, we can receive messages, we can send emails. So there are lot of things going on because of the telecom sector. So because of rapid industrialization and rapid innovations of technology, we are able to do all these things on the fingertips, and this is provided by the cellular mobile services. So they take the help of the other department with the networking of other departments, and they are able to provide this cellular mobile services. Now, the next type of services offered here is the fixed line services. So we can also refer to as the landline services offered by the BSNL. So in addition to BSNL, there are other private providers also who are offering landline facilities to the people. So in landline, as the name itself suggests, they will be laying of cables across the land and in and across the whole country, where we can have this landline facilities. Now let us have a look into what are the cable services. Now these cable services, they are having within the fixed area of operation, they can give this cable services, and this cable services is a one-way type of service. So they are providing us various TV channels which will be communicating lot of information to all the people, and now technology is underway to make it a two-way kind of a communication system. Now the next kind of services offered by the telecom is the VSAT service. So what is this VSAT service? That is very small aperture terminal. So what is this very small aperture terminal? So this is very helpful for the government and the business community, and it is providing efficient and reliable services both in rural areas and the urban areas. Now this kind of a VSAT services, they are helpful in telemedicine, teleeducation, and also newspaper today, and also in knowing the market rate. So these kind of services are helping us in a very, very effective and efficient manner. Then the last kind of service offered is the DTH, or what you call as the direct to home services. Now what is this direct to home services? Now these kind of services are offered by the cellular companies. So they will be offering us this DTH services. So any home with the dish antenna and a set-top box, they can avail this DTH services. So whatever, they will be providing us hundreds of TV channels, so we can have a selection, and we can also subscribe to these kind of DTH services. Now next, let us have a look into what is the next important kind of business service, that is the transportation services. Now, the transportation comprises freight services together with supporting and auxiliary services by all modes of transportation, that is rail, road, air and sea, for the movement of goods and international carriage of passengers. Now, these transport facilities are very, very helpful for the transportation of goods from the place of production to the place of consumption, or in other words, they give place utility to all the goods which are being produced or which are being manufactured. Now, without these transportation facilities, we cannot have any marketing activity. Now, there are various modes of transportation facility here. Some of them are the rail facilities, road facilities, air and sea for the movement of goods and international carriage of passengers. Now, depending on the kind of goods you are transporting, we have to select the kind of transport. Suppose if it is a very highly perishable good, then it is better to switch to air transport. But if it is not so very perishable, then you can always go in for rail or road transport. So depending on the type of material you are transporting, so we have to find the choice of transportation. Then next, transportation removes hindrance of place. That is, it makes goods available to the consumer from the place of production. So, if you just manufacture the goods and keep it in the store, go down, it is of no use. So, it has to be brought to the place of consumption, or it has to be transported to the retail shop where it will be purchased by the consumer. So, the transportation facility is a very essential part of the marketing activity. Then next, let us have a look into what is the next type of service, that is the warehousing facility. So what is the meaning of warehousing? Let us have a look here. So storage has always been an important aspect of economic development. The warehouse was initially viewed as a static unit for keeping and storing goods in a scientific and systematic manner so as to maintain their original quality, value and usefulness. So once we produce the goods and manufacture the goods, it has to remain in the storage for a very long time until and unless it is demanded by the customer. So once there is a demand for these goods, we have to transport these goods. Now where they are stored, so we have to preserve the goods until they are consumed by the ultimate consumer. Now this kind of a storage facility, it is offered to the producers and manufacturers by the warehousing services. So storage has been an important aspect of economic development. It was viewed as a static unit for keeping and storing goods in a scientific and systematic manner. So we have to preserve the goods in a scientific and systematic manner. Why? To maintain their original quality, value and usefulness. So the goods have to be protected and stored and until it is consumed. So it has to be well protected so that it does not lose its value. So this is one of the main aspect of the warehousing facility. Then let us have a look into what is being written here. So today's warehouses have ceased to be mere storage service providers and have already become logistical services providers in a cost efficient manner. So in addition to storage facilities, now the warehousing services, they are extending it for the logistics services also. So what do we mean by logistics? In other words, it is nothing but transportation of goods to the respective destinations. Now that is making available the right quantity at the right place in the right time in the right physical form at the right cost. So that is in this, by providing this logistical services, the warehousing, they are making available the goods at the right quantity. So whatever the retailer has ordered, that right quantity has to be transported. Then second one is the right place to the address mentioned by the retailer. They have to transport the goods in the right time. So what is the right time? So he will tell within this period, within this date, you have to send me the goods. So that is the right time and the right physical form. So the goods have to be in a best form. So it has to maintain its freshness and at the right cost. So their cost also should not be very high. So all this will be ensured through this warehousing facilities. Then next, let us have a look into what are the other features of this warehouse. So modern warehouses are automated with automatic conveyors, computer operated cranes and forklifts for moving goods and also usage of logistics, automation softwares for warehouse management. So you can see here there is a picture of the warehouse where the goods are stored and preserved until they are being transported. So in addition to logistical services, the warehousing facilities, they are also having this automated and automatic conveyors. So to just move the goods from one place to another, they have the conveyor facility. Computer operated crane facilities are also there and forklifts are also there. So all these facilities are done by the warehousing services. Then next, let us have a look into what are the types of warehouses. Now the first type of warehouses, private warehouses. Now what do we mean by private warehouses? Private warehouses are operated, owned or leased by a company handling their own goods such as retail chain stores or multi-brand, multi-product companies. Now these private warehouses are owned by private people. So large corporate houses which manufacture goods on a very large scale or which have a chain stores across the country, so they will be having this private warehouse. Now, what is the meaning of this private warehouse? They are owned, operated or leased by a company handling their own goods. So, their own goods will be there. In order to store their goods, they will have this private warehouse. And then those who have the retail chain store also, they will make use of this private warehouse, in addition to multi-brand and multi-product companies. So those companies which have multi-brand products and multi-product companies, they are making use of this private warehouse. Then the next type of warehouse is the public warehouse. Now, what is the meaning of public warehouse? So public warehouses can be used for storage of goods by traders, manufacturers or any member of the public after the payment of storage fee or charges. The government regulates the operation of these warehouses by issuing license for them to private parties. Now, these public warehouses, they can be used for storage of goods. So, anybody can make use of this public warehouse, and it is used by traders, manufacturers or any member of the public. So, after making a payment of the storage fee or the storage charges. Now, the government is regulating these public warehouses by issuing licenses. The government is giving licenses to them for private parties. Now, we know that the public warehouses, they are operated by the government for storage of goods of the traders, public, anybody can make use of this warehouse. And the government regulates the operation of these warehouses by issuing licenses for them to private parties. Then the next type of warehouse is the bonded warehouse. Now, what is this bonded warehouse? Bonded warehouses are licensed by the government to accept imported goods prior to payment of tax and customs duties. Now, these are goods which are imported from other countries. Importers are not permitted to remove goods from the docks or the airport till the customs duty is paid. Now, this kind of a bonded warehouse, it is helpful for the export and import trade. Now, whenever we are importing goods from other nations, so we have to pay the customs duty or the import duty and then get the goods released, so in order to make use of these goods. Now, sometimes some of the business fraternity, they find it difficult to pay the customs duty immediately. So, in such a case, the government will just shift these goods to this bonded warehouses where the goods will be in bond till the importer comes and pays the tax and the customs duty. So, once he pays the tax and the customs duty, he can get these goods released and make use of these goods. So, since the goods in this warehouse are in bond, we call them as bonded warehouses. Then, the next type of warehouse is the government warehouses. So, these warehouses are fully owned and managed by the government. The government manages them through organizations set up in the public sector. Now, there are certain organizations like the Food Corporation of India, State Trading Corporations and Central Warehousing Corporations. These corporations will be operating the government warehouse. Then, the next type of warehouse is the cooperative warehouse. Now, some marketing cooperative societies or agricultural cooperative societies have set up their own warehouses for the members of their cooperative societies. So, for the members of the cooperative society itself, these societies have set up these kind of warehouses so that the members can store the goods at a very minimal fees. Then the next, now let us have a look into the functions of warehousing. So, in this function, you can just see the picture here. We have the functions of the consolidation. What is this consolidation function? So, we have the plant A, plant B and plant C. So, whatever they are producing, So they will be sending it to this consolidation warehouses, and from there it will be given to the various retailers. So these A, B, C they are various retailers, and they will be just transporting the goods to the various retailers here. Now let us see what is consolidation has to tell us. So in this function, the warehouse receives and consolidates materials, goods from different production plants and dispatches the same to particular customer on a single transportation shipment. So these warehousing facility refers to consolidation, means they just receive the goods from various kinds of manufacturers, and based on the order received from the retailers, they will be just transmitting the goods to the various customers as per their orders. Then the next kind of function of the warehousing is break the bulk. Now, what is this break the bulk? The warehouse performs the function of dividing the bulk quantity of goods received from the production plants into smaller quantities. So, whatever they are receiving from the production house, they will be consolidating, breaking the bulk. So, they will be breaking the bulk, and then they will be transporting it to the various retailers. So they make packets of smaller quantities and they just send it to the retailers. Then the next function of warehousing is stockpiling. Now what is this stockpiling? So you will just keep the stocks in piles, that is one above the other manually. So the next function of warehousing is the seasonal storage of goods to select businesses. So goods or raw materials which are not required immediately for sale or manufacture are stored in the warehouses. So the stockpiling refers to those goods which are seasonal in nature. So those which are not used very much, so they will be kept there for storage and then released whenever they are needed. Then the next function of warehousing is the value added services. Certain value added services are also provided by warehouse, such as transit mixing, packaging and labeling. So whenever goods are stored in the warehouse, they give us some value added service. Now what are the various value added services? So the goods which are in a very big package, they will be converted into smaller packages, and they will also provide you grading services and also the storing services, etc. And they will be mixed, packed and labeled and then sent to the desired destinations. Then the next function of warehousing is price stabilization. By adjusting the supply of goods with the demand situation, warehousing performs the function of stabilizing the prices. Now, what do you mean by stabilization of price? Suppose there is a scarcity of goods in that particular market, then the price of that good or product will go very high. Now, what can we do in that situation? You try to increase the supply of goods into the market. So, when you increase the supply of goods into the market, automatically the price comes down. So when supply rises, the prices fall, or when the demand rises, price rises. So we all know this. So in order to just stabilize the prices, we need this kind of a warehousing facility. So depending on the demand situation, they will be just releasing the goods into the market, and in this way they will try to stabilize the prices of the particular product. Thus, prices are controlled when supply is increasing and demand is slack, and vice versa. So, when the demand is less, they just try to create scarcity and see that there is increased demand. So, in this way, they are able to stabilize the prices of certain products in the market. Then, the next function of warehousing is the financing function. Now, what is this financing function? So, warehouse owners advance money to the owners on security of goods and further supply goods on credit terms to the customers. Now, this financing function is given by the warehousing owners. So, they advance money to the owners on security of goods. So, if you are having your storage of goods there, then the warehousing owner will give you this finance facility. So, they will also ensure that there is good supply of goods and also credit terms to its customers. Then, I hope you have all understood this session on the business services. So with this, we have come to the end of this fourth chapter, that is business services. Hope you have all understood this. Thank you.